On April 1st, 2021, I ditched a career I absolutely hated to better myself and do the things I've always wanted to do. And that included my growing love and obsession with Ireland. I want to learn everything: culture, history, mythology, music, and the language. Which, if I'm being honest, looks really hard to learn, but I'm going to give it the old Smith try. Then, of course, there is my love of pubs and the role that they've played throughout history, and no better example of that than on that beautiful, beleaguered island in the North Atlantic, Ireland. April 1st, 2026, I depart for the Emerald Isle, and for 1 year, I'll hike town by town and conduct interviews with pub owners, pub regulars, historians, town know-it-alls, musicians, and basically anybody that wants to talk to me. If you'd like to support the project and the journey, basic Patreon support is only $3 a month, but just liking a video or subscribing to the channel and following the journey is just as helpful. I'm always looking for volunteers to work as liaisons for the project too, so if you live in Ireland and know people, feel free to hit me up. This is a huge goal and I need all the help I can get. The Smitty Learns Irish Pubcast begins April 26th and will be my life's work. Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 1.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Is that when you said blowjob on the radio?
like 10 times. I'll tell you the story.
I bought all this equipment. I bought 3 microphones, but I didn't pay attention to what I was buying. It's a 3-pack.
3-pack?
Oh, I have 9 microphones. What the hell am I going to do? Interview a baseball team? I'm tired of your fucking bullshit, you know what I mean? I'm tired of all of this nonsense that I just want no part of anymore. I'm going to do my own fucking thing. Fuck all of that.
2, 1, action!
What the hell? Everything! OMG. Oh, let me get a good stretch out of the way. Hello. Oh, there we go. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling fucking ecstatic. Happy What the Hell Everything Day. My name is Smitty. Thank you for joining me for Monday, September 11th, 2023. Really, just to quote Maverick, you know, I feel the need for rambling fucking chit-chatting, man. Was supposed to have a podcast on Friday, but as we will discover in this show, there's a theme that has to do with just my dumb brain. It's just... It's that Foo Fighters song, My Poor Brain. That should be the theme song for this fucking podcast, if I'd have been thinking. Man. Smith's Dumb Brain. This was also, it was supposed to be a 2 p.m. podcast. It is a 2 p.m. live stream. However, when I posted the tease, hey, we're going to do this podcast today on the socials, I said noon. And I'm like, well, this is just a fucking classic example of just Smith Dumb Brain. No, 2 o'clock. And if you are on the live stream, A, thank you for being here. 2, feel free to chime in on anything, what show ever. I'm really starting to get more interaction on these live streams, and it's really fun to shoot the shit. Really reminiscent of doing a live radio show, you know, having people. I'm not at the point where I'm going to have people call in yet. I want to at some point, but today is not that day. But really just increasing some interaction with viewers and listeners. On Spotify, perhaps. Maybe you're on Spotify checking the podcast out, but shoot the shit during a live stream. I will try to take a look and, answer questions or whatever you got, you know. Not like an advice column. It's not like one of those things, you know. Anything you got, though. Throw it in there. Who the fuck knows what's going to happen? It is a gray, rainy fucking day, man. I like the fall. I'm not one of those people that like fucking pumpkin spice and just wearing fucking flannel. And yeah, you know, it's not. I like some nice hoodie weather. I like sitting around in a hoodie outside a campfire. You know, that's the good weather. You know, I'm not the type of guy that likes to wear pants. If you're wearing pants, it's a bad day. I wear shorts, mind you. I wear the things to cover the things, but, you know, if I'm wearing pants, I'm not fucking happy. And I'm wearing pants today, you know. Just so I can be presentable. But it's gray and rainy. I'm not ready for it. I am not ready for winter. I'm not ever ready for winter. Even more so anymore as the years progress. Man, I just took a sneak peek at the word of the day. The word of the day, kick off the podcast with every single podcast to learn things, learn words. I like to learn words and languages and things, and hopefully it's fun, and just maybe at some point in the podcast we're getting into a practical sentence, and the word of the day is, let's see, man, I have no idea how the fuck to pronounce that. Maybe I do. Vicissitude. Am I right?
Vicissitude.
Vicissitude. I missed, what do you call those things? Syllable? Yeah, I missed a syllable in there. Vicissitude. 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 Meanings and examples. What does this mean? I have no idea. A change or variation occurring in the course of something. Let's learn more, shall we? More about vicissitude. Often used in the plural. Vicissitude was first recorded in 1560 to 1570. Comes from via Middle French, from Latin vicissitudo, or in turn. The first part of vicissitude is from the same root as vice, in the place of, as in vice president. The middle part comes from the Latin word cessum, giving way, and the last part from tudo, which indicates state or condition, as an attitude. There we go. Life is full of vicissitudes with unexpected twists and turns that shape our journey. Fucking A. Vicissitude. Life is full of twists and turns, man. Finding that out more. The more I go, the longer I fucking go. I'm just like, well, that's a turn I didn't fucking see coming. You got things planned and all of a sudden, turn quick! Vicissitude. But it's a great segue into this vicissitude that I had the last week or so. Not necessarily a vicissitude, mind you. Well, it was just, you want to talk about just a week of struggles and growth. Now, I have to fucking stress that part more than anything. Because, I've mentioned my anger issues many times before. Just a fucking, especially when I was on the radio the last couple years, it really sort of took over. And I made a conscious effort to just kind of hopefully change the way I react to things, I tend to be a very reactionary, overreactionary, and irrationally so a lot of times, to say the least, It serves you well when you're on the radio, and you can go off about something, do some sort of rant that people can relate to. It serves you well in that instance, But in everyday life, it just sort of starts to invade your personality. And I'm like, I don't fucking like this, I'm pissed off all the time. I don't want to be fucking pissed off all the time. So really made strides. And not only with the anger management, so to speak, but just with, excuse me, the other sort of like growth I've had as far as learning how to do new things, doing a podcast, how to do long form conversation when it's just me talking to myself. I'm not doing 2 minutes, 3 minutes on the radio, getting over the anxieties of such. And I've done a great fucking job, going live, doing the internet thing. I fucking really feel like I am. And it only proves the point. The shit week that I had this last week, years ago, that would have derailed. I don't know if it would have derailed everything, but it would have fucking really just been, I don't know how I would have handled it, because I'm really just going to recap the week, just kind of day by day, except for Tuesday. I'm not sure I really remember what happened Tuesday. I don't know if I want to remember what the fuck happened Tuesday, to be honest. So, like, Monday, I have this huge interview with Aslan coming up that I recorded, and it's going to be out tomorrow. It went great. We'll get into that. But Monday, I had Mondays and Tuesdays I have the day off from waiting tables and bartending at Bourbon 72. Those are my days off. I work Wednesday through Sunday. And I really have to schedule all of these things to go around that job. So, Mondays and Tuesdays are my days to really work on the podcast. I come in here, I do a lot of work, record some reaction videos, album reaction videos and such, do a lot of other editing and uploading, hopefully. Then Wednesdays, I will do a live stream, and then I go to work. And Thursdays, I do the same thing, Fridays, I do the same thing. I do a podcast on Fridays, the What the Hell Everything. I was supposed to do it last Friday. So Monday, I had a live stream scheduled at 2, the Aslan live stream reaction marathon, so I could do a cram study session before the band interview. So I'm trying to remember what was the exact fucking problem on Monday. It's just brain issues. I have to take a backpack to and from home. I come to Brother Levi's. This is where my studio is, at his place. So I make the 30-minute or so drive to Levi's from home. And I kind of like to take the long way. And it's not that much longer. It's probably 5, 6, 7 extra minutes. But it's more of a scenic route, and I'm fucking old. So I just like to fucking make the scenic drive while I'm listening to a podcast, just getting my mind right before I come in and do shit. And I did that. It was a great drive. Wasn't actually listening to a podcast that day. I was listening to a super rad fucking punk rock playlist. And I got to stop at Burger King before I go in. And by the way, I saw the BK guy that I mentioned in the previous podcast, who was full of super fucking anxiety, and he was a lot more comfortable, and we had a nice conversation, actually, and I felt good about my interactions with him. Anyway, I go in there, and I get some fucking food, and I'm about to pull out of BK to head to Levi's right up the road. And I'm like, motherfucker, I forgot my backpack that has my laptop and all this shit in it. I'm like, of fucking course that happened. So I had to go back to home and fucking just took a right out of Burger King rather than go the way I came. So I went the shorter fucking route this time to get home. And what the fuck day is it? Monday? Fucking Labor Day? You're not familiar with Northern Michigan. I mean, they call them fudgies in Northern Michigan. All the tourists that come up to get the fudge from Mackinac Island and surrounding areas that sell fudge. It's fucking weird, I know, but they're fucking fudgies, and they're all leaving that day. And they're all going back downstate. It is a huge fucking tourist area here, and there's so much fucking traffic, and I'm just dealing with dickheads and campers, and I'm just like, don't rage. Don't rage, because years ago I would have just fucking been like, get the fuck out of the way, and hit the passing lanes and fucking hit the fucking shortcuts as fast as I could. But I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I am going to maintain my normal speed at my normal safe distances from people and be a safe, responsible fucking driver. That's what I'm going to do the whole way. Because here's the thing. This thing was at 2 o'clock, and because I leave ridiculously Smith early, it's a condition in my family where you got to be fucking early, stupid early for everything. So it's a good goddamn thing that happens, because I still had probably an hour and a half-ish or more till this live fucking stream, and I go home and I'm just seething fucking mad, but I didn't react, and go home and get my fucking laptop, and I pull in, and honestly, I don't even know, man, I'm just trying to wrap my head around all these fucking people that are leaving Kalkaska at this time. They're all coming from north, from Petoskey on 131. It all funnels down to 131. And for fucking a mile and a half, my parents' road is a mile and a half from the intersection on 131 and M72. And every motherfucker was going that way. I'm like, thank fuck I know the shortcuts. So I just turn left and fucking head down and take the back way back, and got back in plenty of time. While I was just fucking seething mad. And then did the live stream at 2 o'clock. Everything was okay. But that sense of when they call it waking up on the wrong side of the bed, I woke up on the wrong side of the fucking bed all week. What's the best way to describe waking up on the wrong side of the bed? That feeling of waking up on the wrong side of the bed is something along the lines of when one thing fucking happens in the morning. You started out bad because I'm sorry, the no coffee morning was actually 2 days later. We'll get into that. But just everything goes fucking wrong. And then it just fucking dominoes, motherfucker. It just gets worse, it seems like, because even though that live stream went great, things just fucking went progressively worse. I can't remember what happened Tuesday. But again, when those things happen and they snowball and it invades your brain and it makes your fucking irritation level go up. Especially when I am late for something, a level of fucking rage sets in that is hard to like. It's hard to express how fucking pissed off I get if I'm late. And especially if shit's my fault. That's the worst. I can usually deal with something a little bit better if it's not on me. But when I fuck up and it just doubles in my brain as far as irritation. And then it makes me pissed off at fucking everybody. Where I just, like this level of irritation sets in. Where all I want to do is fucking be confrontational. And all I want to do is fucking be pissed off. So again, I don't know what happened Tuesday, and that's great. Wednesday, what the fuck happened? Because I forgot my fucking backpack at my parents' on fucking Monday. I set all my alarms. I'm like, well, I'm going to fucking remember to do everything on Wednesday. So I'm like, grab your backpack. And I set 5 alarms for Wednesday. No, for Tuesday. The day that I was supposed to wake up was Wednesday. So when I woke up at 6:30 and my alarm didn't go off at 6 like I had planned, I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, you set it for Tuesday. Like a fucking asshole. And wake up because I have this, 9 a.m. interview with this legendary Irish band. And I'm like, I'm going to fucking kill it. And then you over fucking sleep by a half an hour. And there's no coffee made. And by the time there's coffee made, you don't got to fucking make time for it. And by the time you're like, okay, well, I'm going to get a to-go mug. You get a to-go mug, and it's a to-go mug with a button for the sipping part that you don't know how it works. And you fill it up, and you fucking spill it on yourself immediately. So you're like, fuck this coffee. You just dump it. Because you're like, I'm not going to take this and spill it all over myself before this fucking interview. I'll just get a goddamn Red Bull on the way in. And that's how it started, And then it was progressively. I get to the interview, and it was great. Those guys are great. That'll be out tomorrow. But that level of rage sets in, and it affects your thinking. And you do this interview, and you have all of these things you want to ask. And you do, to a certain extent, your own Smith way. But you get lost in your own head. You watch this podcast enough, I just get lost in thought sometimes, and it's always been that way. It's easy to play that shit off on the radio when you can get in and out in 2 minutes or go into a song, but you can't fucking do that in an hour-long almost interview with a band that you're just fascinated with, and you want to ask them all kinds of things, and your brain sets in, and you forget their fucking name at the beginning of an interview. Seriously, they came on, and I was just like, hey, we're just gonna roll, and it's Billy, it's Alan, and it's a and I'm just like, motherfucker, in my head. And in the moment, you'll see it on the interview, I left it in. I just tend to keep warts and all in, just because it's just who I am. And it was fucking hilarious. Those guys could not have been nicer. And I'm sure that they probably got caught on some level that I was nervous. I wasn't even really that nervous until I realized I blanked on the name. Then you get in, your brain you're inside your own head while this interview's going on. You have all sorts of things you want to ask them about. Growing up in Ireland and having Irish music as an influence and just talking about that kind of thing. Every time you try to get there, the brain derails because you're coming off stupid. In your head, you're like, you're coming off stupid. What, don't make it about the podcast. You want to make it about the band. So in your own head, you're like telling yourself shit that isn't true.
or talking yourself out of things you know you want to do because you think people are going to think you're stupid. And that's a thing I've fucking dealt with my whole life and only gotten better at dealing with recently in the last, I don't know, however many fucking years. It's actually been a progressive thing throughout my life. But even though these things are going on in my head, and I felt like I was fucking up. I don't know if they thought I was fucking up as much as I did. I don't know if anybody else, and I don't think anybody else is really going to see that and know how much I was in my own head going, you fucking idiot. But even in those moments, because years ago, if I thought I was having a bad interview or something like that, I would just tend to, doing it on the radio, whether it be me fucking up a question, which I had done before, and I just feel stupid. I'm like, oh, well, I'll kill this interview early, or an interview was just going bad because the dude you're talking to doesn't give a fuck and it's a shit interview. You just kind of kill it. Okay, well, respectively, we'll get the fuck out, And I didn't do that this time, That's where the growth comes in, because in your own head, you're like, okay, we'll just keep working it, keep working it and just keep it going, keep talking, and that's kind of what I'm all about anyways, just to keep talking. Hopefully some worthwhile shit comes out once in a while. But getting over that, just the ability that I have given myself just by committing to it, the ability to just work through the fucking issues that you're having in your brain, I really am proud of myself for that. I'm proud of the fact that, I wasn't good at this shit before, and I might not be the best at it now, but I'm getting fucking better. You know what I mean? I'm getting better. I'm getting more effective at getting the message out, and the interview went really well. I went back and edited it rather, and, it's like seeing Facebook memories when they pop up from years ago, and you're like, I can remember exactly how I fucking felt in 2011 when I posted this. Pretty much anything that pops up, you're like, I remember exactly how I fucking felt. So when I edited this thing, I remember how I felt, but looking at it from an outsider's perspective, I'm like, oh, this isn't bad as I fucking thought. This is a pretty good interview. So I was really happy with it, actually. The week didn't end there. It was still, because what happened Wednesday when I was done with that fucking interview, I was supposed to have a noon live stream on Patreon. That was the goal. Wednesday and Thursday have a live stream. And after I was done with the interview, at some point, I was getting ready for that reaction marathon, and I'm like, I forgot my fucking belt from work. And it might sound like an overreaction, and it probably is, but I panic again about being late. I'm super early to everything. So when there is that added time crunch of going back home to get something that I need to go to work, I'm like, well, I don't have time for this fucking thing. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to go eat fucking breakfast at the Yankee Boy in South Boardman and collect my fucking thoughts and go home and get ready for work. That seems like the best case scenario. I can't hurt anybody if I'm just sitting down at home, But, man. And then what was it? Thursday I had the live stream with the bros. Doing the Lions thing, which was just, I was just happy to fucking, I was so happy that I got to get together with the brothers, watch the fucking Lions kick the shit out of the Chiefs by 1 point, but I don't care. They might as well have won by fucking 40 as far as I'm concerned. It was so goddamn satisfying. And I had that, and it went fucking great, but I didn't do anything on Patreon on Thursday because I was going to do a live stream thing. And then Friday, I was going to do a What the Hell Everything podcast, but the same fucking shit happened where I fucking came over here, had all the things to go to work later too. I just change here and go to work. And then I forgot my fucking work shirt. I'm like, God damn it. Can't do this fucking podcast today either. And I was really fucking bummed out because I wanted to do a podcast on Friday. And it really just went through my whole shit week because it just adds up where you're just irritable at work.
You're irritable. I'm more dropsy when I'm having one of those shit days or shit weeks. But I feel good. You know, I love the growth. You can have bad days and bad weeks, but you work through it. And the moral of the story is that I scheduled 3 days off at an Airbnb in Alpena. That's my fucking perspective I'm going to need in a couple weeks, you know. Just take a couple days. That was what I did a few years ago. And last time I did that, I sent a 4-page fucking scorched earth resignation letter to a radio station. I'm not going to do that. That's not going to happen. This time, I'm happy where I work. But sometimes you just need a couple days with some whiskey and some books. That's my fucking vacation. Just sitting there, having maybe lunch with some friends in Alpena, getting some good beer from Austin Brothers, sitting with some whiskey, smoking some fucking weed, and reading books in my fucking Airbnb. And I'm kind of excited about it, not gonna lie. You know, you gotta have those fucking days, man. Pretty happy about it. What do they call that? I forgot what that is. Vicinification? That's not the right word. What the fuck is that word, Smith? Bring that word of the day back up. Vicissitude. That's what we call a vicissitude. See? Hey, let's check some fucking world news. Things are better. You know, they're not fucking crazy. I mean, things are crazy, but they're not bad. You know, I was trying to just explain it to somebody where, you know, you go through these challenges and you do, you know, and you want to be in your own place. You know, you don't want to be living at your fucking parents, you know. You don't want to be doing that. But you're suffering through until you can make the shit work. And I will make the shit work. It's pretty, I'm pretty fucking happy with everything. I'm happy with the growth. I'm happy with the vicissitude of things. Ha ha ha. Let's check some fucking world news because I think that might be fun. I like to do a little news scrolling every once in a while. I just hit this world news Reddit thread. As I have a sip of my wild cherry, 0 Pepsi. Where's that world news? There's that world news. There's that world news. Anybody on the live stream? Not yet, but there will be. Maybe not on this podcast, but on the next one. You never know. World news. We're just scrolling through Reddit here to see if there's anything that I want to talk about. I don't really want to talk about. It's not that I don't want to talk about like conflicts, Russia, Ukraine, or any of that stuff. I'm just not necessarily the most fucking educated on it. I will comment on some things, but by and large, I don't really talk about that stuff. But something in world news could strike a chord. I usually tend to really focus on a lot of stuff in North Korea, and that's simply only because I could see their flag from my barracks and lived right fucking next to North Korea for a good chunk of my years, or 1 year, actually. Kim Jong-un reportedly hops on his bulletproof drab green train for meeting with Putin. This is only going to end well, you know? Sorry, as I clear my throat. As I clear my throat on the camera and a microphone. One camera and a microphone. 2 dipshits, 1 dipshit and a microphone. What else? What else is on this world thread? It's all pretty serious. All seems pretty serious. Wildfires in Canada are just insane. This shit's going to happen in northern Michigan. I mean, we had wildfires here not that long ago in Grayling. The weather is doing some gnarly things. And you watch it, and you're like, I think they talked about this. I think I've seen documentaries about this before. Movies, maybe, too. All right, there's nothing really on world news, you know? It's nothing fun like we want to talk about. When I say we, I mean me. Man, sober October is in full swing. Even though I did start smoking again. Every day is, what did I say? Last week I just thought it was like, I tried to quit smoking on whatever day it was. Every day I tried to quit smoking, but I talked about it whatever day it was. And I'm like, I was so stressed out last week. I was just like, it's every night you go to bed and you say, tomorrow I'm not going to smoke. You can't go like that. I know there's a better mental approach to that. I told my dad or somebody, I can't remember, that you got to just apply the thinking that I have, the mindset that I got from that book, The Easy Way to Stop Smoking by Alan Carr. And just apply those principles and just be in the right mindset where you can quit. That's really the best way it works for me. But I am doing Sober October. Not Sober October, Sober September. What am I saying? Sober September. I don't do Sober October anymore because October's too fucking fun. There's Halloween parties and shit, you know. I like to go have some fucking fall beer, you know. It's fall. I go drink some fucking cider and beer. But doing Sober September, and I didn't even mention it on the last podcast. It was fucking hilarious and gross. It was not that hilarious at the time. It's kind of funny, but so that when was it? Sober. What the fuck day was the 1st of September? I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. On Tuesday or Monday, I like to go out to eat. You know, I go to sit at the bar somewhere and get some food. It's kind of my thing. I just like to find a place to go. Has good food, good beer, you know. And I'm like, man, I'm feeling like some fucking margaritas. Where do I want to go? Oh, you know what? Dockside in Clam River, right on Torch Lake. It's where Clam River runs into Torch Lake. Fucking gorgeous, gorgeous fucking place. And they have really good margaritas and fucking, I think they have some halfway decent Mexican food, burritos or such. I'm like, I'm gonna go to fucking Dockside. It was probably like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, I'm gonna go get some margaritas and tacos, and they were fucking closed. I'm like, what's going on around here? What's happening? Oh, the power's out. Fuck. I'll just go to Alden Bar, which is not Alden Bar anymore. It is now Torch Lake Beer Company. They have really good fucking food. And honestly, it's the bar where I was kind of brought up. My dad was a regular at that place. No joke. He would walk into that place. It was like, cheers, Norm. But his name was Stoner when he would walk into the place. And honestly, it really hasn't changed that much. Although they did take out the suicide steps to the bathroom. The bathrooms are much safer now. And they are on, you don't even have to go downstairs for them anymore. The point of the story is that was fucking closed too. Power's out. Fuck. Like, where the fuck do I want to go? I'm not really satisfied with any places, really, in Kalkaska, to be honest. And I wasn't thrilled about going over there. I'm like, where the fuck do I want to go? I'm like, you know what? I want to go to a place that I'm not going to name. I'm not going to name this place because I'm not going to shame up a local fucking place. I just refuse to. I don't do fucking Yelp reviews. I don't do Google reviews or any of that shit, but I will talk shit about them and not say who it is. Just so you can wonder if you're going to wander in there or not. So I'm like, I'm going to go to this place that I've never been before, that's been around forever, and I've never actually been there before. I've always heard about it. Like, I'll go get a burger at this fucking joint. Just like a dive, you know? It's like a dive place that I'd never been. I'm like, all right, so you have to go fucking around this thing and do this thing and make this drive. I'm trying not to describe it too accurately. I pull in, I go in, and oh my god, this place is redneck as fuck. There's country music going on the fucking jukebox at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which is fine if you're into that kind of thing. It's not what I'm into necessarily. I don't know why I expected anything less or anything more from a dive in northern Michigan, but it was totally dark, and I walk in and I just sit at the bar, you know, and all, you know, the regulars are in there. I sat down, and barmaid comes up. Yeah, what can I get you? I'm like, give me one of those Oktoberfest right there. And I sat right next to the tap, you know, the beer tap. I sat right next to it, right across from it. And thank fuck she never gave me a menu. Because when she pulled that tap down, it was just a fucking cloud of fruit flies just popped up. It was like going to the beach with like mayflies, except they're way smaller. You know, it was a literal cloud of fucking fruit flies. They were all over the tap. I soon realized they were all over like the back mirror at the back of the bar. And I'm like, what the fuck? I honestly, when I went to work on Wednesday, just went and cleaned the bar that I bartend at more. Because I was like, fuck that shit. I'm never letting anything like that happen, ever. And I got this beer, and I'm like, this stinks. This glass stinks. Now, some people will think poorly of this for me for not saying anything, but I'm just like, fuck this. I'm going to drink this beer out of fucking spite. And I fucking slammed it and fucking set it down. And the hag at the end of the bar was just like, that was a good beer, huh? You drank it pretty quick. I'm like, yeah, one and done. Get me the fuck out of here. And not to mention the fact that they all started fucking just singing along, putting on Kid Rock on this fucking jukebox and singing along with Kid Rock and fucking whatever bullshit fucking new country music they were listening to. I'm like, man, get me the fuck out of this place immediately. There's a bright side, because I wound up at Red Mesa, like wonderful Tex-Mex kind of place with some armadillo eggs, which are fucking like awesome, like mashed potatoes with chilies and cheese, deep fried, rolled in balls, fucking rad, couple Baba Waba margaritas, and I felt better, you know? But that fruit flies incident will stick with me for my fucking rest of my life. Rest of my life. It was legit, just like, just a fucking cloud. And they were in my hair. I was like, I was trying to be all nonchalant, being like, because they're just like, it's no big deal. I was pretty fucking sure thinking about this yesterday, because I thought about this a lot. I was pretty fucking sure that they did that shit on purpose to keep people like me out. What do I mean, people like me? Redneck fucking challenged. As I like to say, I'm from northern Michigan, and I am from this fucking area, but I reject that redneck half. I'm half redneck, you know? Sometimes I have to tell my dad. He starts telling me old-timey shit that his mom told him. And I'm like, yeah, that's old-timey redneck shit your mom's telling you. Knock it off, you know? You know, this is northern Michigan. It's fine. Fucking fruit flies, though, man. Stay with me forever. What the fuck do we want to talk about next? Let's do a little news check. This fucking story that I had saved up is just maddening. And I actually was sitting here struggling. I had to go back and listen to the last podcast. So I was like, did I fucking talk about this? I know I saved the story. Maybe I just talked about it in my head, which is called thinking. But they have robots pouring drinks in Vegas. As AI grows, the city's workers brace for change. That is the headline on this NPR story. And I'm just like, man, can't have anything. Should have seen this coming, though. I mean, you know, sci-fi has told us that the robot's going to take over and take our jobs and all that shit. And, you know, we didn't listen to them. I wonder how long before I'm out of a job. When a robot can make craft cocktails, like I only plan to be at that job for another 2.5 years before I go to Ireland. But will it? I don't think AI is gonna. I don't think the casino's gonna hire robots. I don't think that's gonna happen. But I mean, reading this story, I did see a very key paragraph. I feel like. Walk any direction in Las Vegas, and it's easy to find machines doing human work. Check-in kiosks have replaced people at the front desk of hotels. Text bots can now make restaurant recommendations instead of a concierge. Robots can serve food, and behind the bar, machines are pouring out drinks. Automation and technology replacing jobs has long been a conversation in Nevada's most populated city. Studies show that between 38 to 65% of jobs that could be automated by 2035. Man, I feel like I really have a leg up, you know? I'm such a fucking weird motherfucker that it's going to be hard for AI to replace me. You know, I'm kind of a one-of-a-kind deal. But, like, as far as bartenders go, they'll be like, fuck you, get out of here. There's really going to be a even more just blow-up fucking, like, just a change of culture unlike anything we have ever fucking seen or could fathom is probably coming. And it's going to be forced on everybody, I feel like, because, I mean, I know that there are like good unemployment numbers. I'm not fucking smart enough to know all of these things. I know that there are good unemployment numbers, but I also know that all sorts of fucking places need people and they can't hire anybody. I know that I know that fucking so many people don't want to do shit jobs anymore. Like, a lot of people consider pouring drinks a shit job. There is that aspect to it. I tend to love bars and pubs, and I love bartending because I really love the idea of like making somebody's day better. Either with conversation or a couple cocktails can fucking work sometimes too, you know? I love that shit. But it's pretty much an easy job to replicate if, you know, somebody wanted to. Yeah, I don't know. We are in for massive change, bro. Massive change. Speaking of massive change, as we what? What's the word of the day? I forgot to say. Vicissitude. That has nothing to do with anything. Anyway, speaking of massive change, the Detroit fucking Lions. I did mention it earlier. Lisa asked real quick before I get into the Lions. Lisa's on, how did the Aslan interview go? It went really fucking well. I did mention it just a little bit ago. Just all of the insaneness surrounding it, really, in my own brain. But it went really well. And that is out tomorrow, by the way. So thanks for coming on, Lisa. Detroit fucking Lions. I don't think in my wildest fucking nightmares I could ever envision the team that the Detroit Lions are and are becoming. It's not something I'm used to, you know? You're used to always waiting on misery. It's like Charlie Brown with the football, you know? You go to kick the football and they pull the fucking ball away out from under you. Thanks a lot, Lucy. It's like that. That's how it feels. And when you have a team that goes into Arrowhead, fuck asterisks, man, you know, they didn't have Jameson Williams. They didn't have some guys as well. They weren't at their peak level. You know, you go into Arrowhead and you beat Patrick Mahomes, not soundly, but you stayed with him the whole game. You went up against a team and proved yourself to be on the same fucking level, man. And it was so satisfying. I can't even put it into words. That's probably one of the only games I'm going to be able to watch fully all season. It's going to really irritate the shit out of me when I can't watch the Lions if I'm working. But, man, what just an absolute culture change to this team. I've never seen anything like it. I've never in any sport in Detroit sports. I can't remember a Tigers team. They had Tigers teams I've loved and seen them win the World Series, seen them go to the World Series. Fucking Red Wings had some great teams. Back-to-back champions and just fucking dynasties, you know? The Pistons, the Bad Boys, the fucking 2000 Pistons, they had some great fucking teams. And while they were the Bad Boys and they had an identity, this fucking team is just so different than anything I have ever fucking witnessed, man. It is one of the coolest things I could possibly... I'm like, this is our team. This is our guy. I can't believe it. I can't believe we like have our own Bill Cowher. Just this master motivator who is smart as fuck, who plays the game aggressively, super aggressively, mind you, is super fucking smart, knows football, knows how to get guys. You have a front office led by Brad Holmes that drafts to match guys, match personalities. You know, it's like playing fucking what's that, Go Cupid or Cupid Go, or fucking doing matchmaking or some shit. You know what I mean? You really they really get into guys' psyches to find the guys that are gonna fit. It's fucking superb. to witness the players that they're getting are just next level fucking players. I'm like, how long is this going to last before the salary cap just blows this thing up? Because there's so many great players already, and there's so many developing great players. Man, oh fucking man. You have an offensive line that are just complete bullies. Complete fucking bullies, man. You have a defensive line that is getting there. With Aiden Hutchinson leading the way. It is new guys like C.J. Gardner, the rookie Brian Branch. I mean, you fucking name it, man. And that offense is just going to be so fucking dynamic. And I really feel like when they get Jamison Williams back after week 6, that it's going to be just balls to the fucking wall. And I really just feel like I said that on the podcast with Levi the other day and Josh, I really feel like they owe the Seattle Seahawks a fucking beating just for what went down the last game of the season last year, where the Seahawks won and eliminated the Lions from the playoffs. Then they ended up beating Green Bay just to beat their fucking ass just for that sake, which was fantastic. I don't know what's going to happen this year. I think they can win the Super Bowl 100 fucking percent. I don't even like saying those words, but I'm going to say them. And I'm going to feel it. I'm going to fucking believe it. It's fun. It's one of those things where I get so excited. I'm like, I can't even wait for Sunday, you know? I like it a lot. Pretty close to wrapping up. It is 9/11 today, and I just wanted to give thoughts on 9/11. I don't know why. I felt like I should, because it is 9/11. I don't know if I don't think people expect you to. I don't expect me to. I tend to go. I always tend to take my time, my own personal time, on a part of 9/11 during the day. I'll just pick a time to just kind of reflect on it and like my own thoughts, and just remembering where you were, you just kind of, it's like Facebook memories. You don't need those memories. Those things that is the ultimate, like, where you were, what your mindset was while it was going on, you remember the steps that you took to, I remember everything I did that day pretty much, because it was just so heavy. And how it formed me as a person later in life. I mean, it was such a profound fucking experience. I'm not necessarily one of those types of people that is like, don't ever forget, man. Don't ever forget. And I'm like, I don't feel like you need to remind. To anybody that was there, I don't think you need to remember. There are obviously people born after 9/11 that, it's like us, it's like me learning about Pearl Harbor. Like, yeah, it was a terrible moment, but you can never experience it like the people that were there, or the people that observed it, the people that remember it. It's just a historical moment to people that weren't around for the most part. Now one thing that you can do really now, which I don't do anymore, where I would go online and just watch those moments and relive those moments, I don't do that anymore. Like, I remember it. I don't need to fucking relive it. I remember how shitty it was. But that's one thing that really the internet is kind of great for, that people can revisit things, people that weren't around, where they can go back and kind of get an idea. But again, it's ultimately just a historical moment, for most people that they were told about, and you can have people tell you about, but I don't know. It's not anything that I think you need to like stress where don't ever forget or anything like that. But what the fuck do I know? I'm just a rambling. And that's going to close it out for me. Close it out for me. Enunciation is key, Smith. You guys, this was a really great podcast. I appreciate you coming on. And, of course, Spotify is another place where you can check the podcast out, or your favorite audio platform. If it's not on your favorite platform, please get a hold of me in some way, shape, or form and say, hey, get this fucking thing here, and I'll do my best. But Spotify, I got the Aslan interview coming tomorrow. Patrons, those live stream reaction marathons now that I'm not fucking just mad at everything and just fucking up my schedule. Then Wednesday and Thursday, noon on Patreon. And Friday, I might even try to kick out another podcast. Who the fuck knows? So thank you very much, guys. Till next time, have a wonderful day.
So long, sucker.
Good night, everybody!
I am so sorry for everything that has happened.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, all right. I'll see you guys there.
By the bar and get your face, huh? Get me paid, bitch!
Sit, boo-boo, sit. Good dog.
I love y'all very much. Peace out!
Good night, ladies.
Good night, sir.